All right, today we are diving into the classic harbor management game Le Havre. If you've just popped the lid on this one, you know there are a lot of components. But trust me, getting this game to the table is so much easier than it looks, and we're going to do it step by step.
So you've just opened Le Havre, and your table probably looks a little something like this. A sea of cardboard, right? It can feel pretty overwhelming, but don't you worry. We're going to walk through it together and turn all this chaos into a perfectly organized harbor that's ready for business.
So here's our game plan. We'll do it in 6 simple sections. We'll start by sorting all those little bits and pieces, lay out the game board, tackle the cards, which can be a little tricky, set up the game clock, place the starting buildings, and finally, get each player ready to go.
All right, let's get right to it. Our first job is to conquer that mountain of cardboard and create our supply.
The first step is always the most satisfying. Punch everything out. As you do, start creating a general supply. You'll want separate piles for your francs, your food, and all the different goods like wood, clay, and iron. You know, a little organization now really goes a long way and will make the game run so much smoother once you actually start playing.
Now, as you're sorting all these goods, you're going to notice something really cool. A lot of the tokens are double-sided. You've got fish on one side, and then boom, smoked fish on the other. This isn't just for looks. Upgrading resources by flipping them is a central mechanic in Le Havre. It's a great little detail to get familiar with right from the get-go.
With our supply all organized, it's time to build the harbor itself. Let's get the main game board set up.
Go ahead and find the 3 long game board sections. They're numbered in the top left corners, so just lay them out in order. 1, 2, and 3. Simple as that. This is going to form the main harbor where all the action is going to happen. And when you're done, it should look just like this. You'll have the treasury way over on the far left, the building proposals right in the middle, and the docks for your ships on the right. This is the heart of your port city.
All right, deep breath. We're now at what many people consider the trickiest part of the setup, the cards. But stick with me, and we'll have this all sorted out in no time.
First things first, we need to separate the building cards into 2 main types. Most of them are what we call standard buildings. The others are special buildings, and you can spot them super easily because they have a little anchor icon. Let's deal with the standard ones first.
The key thing to know about the standard buildings is that they scale based on how many people are playing. If you look at the very bottom of each card, you'll see some numbers. You only need to keep the cards that are marked for your specific player count. The rest, they can go right back in the box.
Here's a close-up so you can see exactly what you're looking for. See those check marks? If you're playing a 3-player game, you'll use the card on the left. If you're playing with 4 or 5, you'd use the one on the right. This is how the game makes sure the building market is balanced for your group size. Pretty clever, right?
Okay, now for the special buildings. Gather up all the cards with that anchor icon and give them a really good shuffle. Draw just 6 of them and place that little stack face down on the special building space on the board. The rest won't be used this game, so they can go back in the box too.
Next up, let's prepare the components that kind of act as the game's timer, the round and ship cards. First, find your round cards and lay them out in a row. Then, shuffle all the ship cards and place one face down on top of each of those round cards. And finally, take the 7 round supply tiles, give them a good mix, and place one face down on each of the 7 circular spaces in the middle of the board.
So why are we doing this? Well, these round cards are what drive the pace of the game. Each one marks the end of a round. When it's used, the ship card that was sitting right on top of it gets revealed and becomes available for players to buy, introducing all kinds of new opportunities into the game.
The board is almost ready. Now we just need to seed it with the initial buildings and resources that are available from the very first turn.
Okay, now go ahead and find the starting building cards, like the building firm. These are unique because they start the game already built. Just place them on their matching printed spaces on the game board.
Next, we'll see the initial offers. Now just remember, this is for the full game. You're going to place 2 francs on the franc offer space, 2 fish on theirs, 2 wood on the wood space, and 1 clay on the clay space. And with that, the port is officially open for business.
The board is done. The supply is ready. The last step is to get each player their starting gear. Each player is going to choose a color and take their components. That includes 1 wooden person disc, that's your worker, and all 4 of your colored ship tokens. You'll also get some starting money and coal, but the exact amount, well, that depends. Your starting resources are really interesting because they change based on both the player count and your turn order. It's a balancing mechanism. In this 3-player example here, you can see that the last player gets more starting coal to compensate. So just make sure you check the rulebook for your specific player count and whether you're playing the full or short game, because the starting resources will definitely be different.
And there you have it. The mountain of cardboard has been transformed into a bustling harbor. Everything is organized, the starting resources are out, players are equipped, and the game is totally ready to begin.
All that's left now is to decide who goes first. So, will you take those starting resources, or will you use a building to get a head start on your economic engine? The choice is yours. Have fun!